Good morning, guys. Welcome down to another episode of Fun, Fit, and Healthy. I'm your host, Corel, your resident trainer. And in studio today, we have a very special guest. You've seen him before. We just brought him back because we want to access some of the knowledge he has in regard to nutrition. On the show, we always tout the relevance and importance of nutrition. And him being somewhat of an expert in nutrition, we decided to bring him back for him to dispense a lot of his knowledge to you, the Guyanese public. And we definitely expect a very, very interactive and very fruitful show. And basically, you'll be edified as much as possible on today's show in regard to your nutritional knowledge. Right? So without further ado, again, I don't like to introduce people. I like people to introduce themselves. So let's have it.
Yeah, folks. So the name is Darius Razor Ramsamy.
Very sharp show today, though.
And today we're bringing the guns out.
Guns out.
Because we're currently about 5 days out from the Mr. Ghana competition, which you guys got to come out and support. See your boy win it for the second time. And let's get it.
It's happening on December 18, guys. This Sunday at the National Culture Center. Please, if you've never been to a show before, this is the show to come to. Again, the guy in his top premier bodybuilders will be on stage, and they'll be definitely representing with great zeal and enthusiasm on that day. A lot of these athletes are prepared very hard. Mr. Ramsamy in particular, if you see this guy's training regimen, you're like, wow, it's hard stuff. It's not easy getting this. So,
it's rough.
Yeah, it's tight. It's tough. It's really tough. You should see it. All right. But if you guys follow him on Instagram, you'll be able to see it. But go ahead, Mr. Ramsamy. Let's talk about nutrition, because we always talk about on the show a lot about the importance of managing what goes into your body. So from your experience and your expertise in the field, what are some of the first things you'd like to tell the Guyanese people about the importance and relevance of a healthy nutritional intake?
Well, the importance of a healthy nutrition intake is like what we discussed in the last episode. Is a lot of Guyanese, especially now, are having type 1 diabetes at a very young age. Right? By controlling nutrition, you control what goes into your body, how much sodium, how much sugar, right? So you mitigate the process of you having diabetes. Not necessarily because your mom had diabetes that means you have to have diabetes.
Correct.
It doesn't work.
No, type 2, type 2, type 1, right? So type 1, just to clarify for you guys, type 1 diabetes is diabetes where your body does not produce insulin, you're insulin dependent. You have to take insulin. Type 2, unless typically congenital or has to do with the hereditary factor. Yeah. But type 2, which is more, the studies are showing now, is more environment, basically
what you eat and
by what you've eaten. So type 2 diabetes was considered non-communicable diseases, are significantly on the rise. And, we know the based on the people that come to us in the gym and the different kind of how impactful that kind of number going up is to the Guyanese people. So go ahead, you want to expound on that a little bit more?
Yeah, so your nutrition could help mitigate your diabetes, mitigate your high blood pressure, right? Make sure everything is working good. And nutrition is very important for your health. Right, because a lot of the food that we're taking in these days, let's be honest, is processed stuff. Not very much of our young people go to the market anymore. Literally, I don't. I just go to the supermarket and pick up whatever they have there. Guilty of it. So me speaking to you about it because I do it. So we need to watch what we eat. I mean, occasionally we go and enjoy some KFC, enjoy some Pizza Hut, but as long as you're watching what you're eating, right, be vigilant, you shall be fine.
Right. So you talk about a very key point you brought there about processed foods, right? Now, to clarify to the general public about processed foods, guys, are types of foods that are highly refined. When you think about highly refined, you want to think about something that you're eating that is far removed from its original raw material form. For example, white sugar. Right, that's found in a lot of confectionery products out there. White sugar is considered very refined sugar because from the sugar cane, it breaks down
to make our brown sugar.
Correct.
And then it's go through a further process, right, of heating and further breaking down to get rid of that brown color so it can look a little more pleasing to the eye.
Correct.
Right. for the white sugar.
Right.
And with that breaking down, you take away a lot of the nutrients, the micronutrients that usually comes with the brown sugar, even more nutrients from the sugar cane. But however, when you get there, all you're getting is all sucrose.
Awesome. Correct. And that is a metabolic demon, more or less.
Correct. And by intaking a lot of sucrose, like from these sugars, these processed drinks and so on, it boosts what you call your insulin level.
Right.
Now, say for instance, we have this bottle here, right? And here. So halfway, this is where your insulin level is supposed to be normally, right? Where is that? And when you go and intake some of these products, it boosts it to full. Which you don't want it to be full because you become insulin sensitized. Right. So by doing that, you creating an environment for your body which is unhealthy for you.
Right.
This will leading towards the first thing, diabetes.
Right.
So you want to always keep it at least halfway full or just under the cap.
Right. So there's a good analogy you use there. So when your insulin goes to this level, what it starts to do is begins to act on the food and begins to convert more of your food to fat storage, and that is the problem you don't want with processed food. That's the fundamental problem with processed foods. Now, some of the processed foods are the culprit, and again, when we talk about processed food, we talk about processed food are cheap. Let's be honest. And that's the reason why most people actually access them or try to utilize them in their diets. But you really want to try and mitigate that in particular, because, like, for example, Darius, let's say you're on a budget. It's hard to feed a family. There's a distributor, and he says he sells about 4 containers of sausages a month. So you got these people.
Four containers.
There's containers.
Got that.
Right, and there's just one distributor selling 4 containers of sausages. Now, sausages are delicious.
They are.
Sausages are delicious.
Had some this morning.
Right? But if you have a very low caloric expenditure day and you consume a bunch of sausages, what your body is going to be doing is going to be breaking down that sausage really quick because it's processed, and it's going to be converting it into energy quicker. So if you don't have the activity to absorb that energy that the sausages are giving you, then
it has to store.
Goes and stores in the body. And when it stores in the body,
the insulin level goes up, right? The fat levels goes up. It creates visceral fats. It creates back to the same problem, right? Insulin sensitivity.
Right. So these are the issues you have with your intake. Now it's important you guys to understand that fundamental part of what nutrition is. Again, with nutrition, what we try to tell you on the show is realistic information. We know you're going to have access to the sausages. We know you're going to have access to the processed foods. Now, in a situation where your financial situation does not really facilitate, the reduction in your access to other healthier foods, you want to minimize or reduce the degree of processed foods and try to balance it out with some degree of more complex. Give an example of the more complex types of foods people might have access to right here in Ghana.
Well, every Guyanese household, right? I don't think there's a single Guyanese household that doesn't have a bag of rice inside of it, right? Rice is very good for you. A lot of people like to make rice an enemy because it's basically pure carbs, right? But however, it's good because it absorbs in just about 45 minutes. That's the reason why a lot of people tend to eat more rice than necessary. We have our sweet potato, we have our edibles, our yams. I mean, those are things that the younger population would generally go and buy.
Right.
But what you can mitigate that with is a lot of fruits, right? Because everybody likes some fruits. Right.
You get some good healthy sugars there, more complex sugars from the fruits. Now, interesting thing to note, guys, when you talk about nutrition, right, and these types of foods like the yams and the sweet potatoes and edibles, these are what are called, they're carbohydrate sources. And carbohydrates are the instant fuel sources for your body, right? But your insulin, so all carbohydrates essentially turn into sugar in your body, right? So when your body it takes some carbohydrates,
it breaks it down,
it's sugar ultimately, and the sugars will give you the instant energy. Now, the reason why you want to focus on the more complex carbohydrate sources is because these carbohydrate sources require more calories to break down, first of all. And in doing so, you have you don't absorb everything from the carbs. You absorb what you need in the time frame that your body is going through its metabolic processes.
Everything else goes to waste.
Everything else goes to waste, and you.
So in reality, you're not giving your body the opportunity to save anything, because let's say 2 of these bottles together, right? It's going to be much harder for me to lift both of them together. So when both come in, right, the body's going to be more taxed. It's going to take, let's say, all the attention trying to lift it up to get them apart. Now, if you put one bottle, it's easy because it's light, just one bottle. So what are we going to do? We're going to save half of it because
it's light.
It's easy.
Correct.
Right? So by let's say like overworking the body, moving, exercise keeps it healthy and keeps it in a range where it has to continue doing its work efficiently.
Correct.
Right? As long as it's not doing its work efficiently, anything that comes in, I don't need this, so what I'm gonna do?
Get rid of it.
I'm gonna put it. Depends on what it is. I'm gonna put it in a corner.
All right.
If there's too much of it, obviously some of it is gonna go to waste, but the majority of it is gonna get put in a corner. But if you give your body exactly what it needs, right, that's the only thing you're getting. It has no choice but to use that for energy to make your brain work and so on, and then you have everything you need.
All right, there you go. So there you have it, guys. So let's talk a little bit about proteins. Because bodybuilders, like everybody has a protein. Let's talk about some proteins. So the value of proteins in our diet.
Well, protein is the building blocks of, let's say, muscle, right? And necessary of protein because your brain need protein, your liver, your organs, your heart need protein to function. Also, it need calories to function, right? The beautiful thing about protein can be almost break down into anything, right? Except fats. Right? So you can't turn protein into fat, but you can turn protein into calories. Protein, you can turn it into carbs. Depends on if your body's not getting enough carbs, it will do that for itself. So protein keeps you from basically wasting away. Right? So eating adequate enough protein keeps you nice and healthy, keep you vibrant, keep your nice muscle on you so you can look nice and good.
Yeah. Nice and thick. Yeah, so guys, this is very, very true. Mr. Ramsamy sharing with us. Proteins are the building blocks of every cell you have in your body. So you need that particular initiative. Now, we all talk about the necessity. We're going to do overall encapsulate and tie it in, but let's get to the fats now. So let's talk about a little bit about fats and the function of the fats from your knowledge, the role of fats in what role it plays in your nutritional macros.
Well, fats is like the brother that protein doesn't like, right? We need him because he's family, right? But we necessarily don't want him around.
I really love your analogies there.
We necessarily don't want him around, right? Let's say all year round, right?
That's a really good analogy. That's good.
So the fats keep along with the protein, keep the brain working healthy, keep your organs working. So everything is good in small amounts, right? So when you say mitigate fats out of your diet, you feel like trash, right? Just as carbs, right? When you eat carbs, your attention span is short, your temper is a little bit more wiry. The same thing with fats.
Correct.
Especially your liver and kidney, right, works a lot off of a little bit of fat, not a lot. So in taking, let's say, a balanced diet with your protein, your carbs, your calories, and your fats is key.
Right. There you go. So there you have it, guys. So your fats, carbohydrates, and proteins are your 3 main macronutrients, right? And these nutrients are vital. Like Darius said, fats is the brother you don't like. You love him, but you don't like that brother. You just don't like him, but you love him because he's part of the family. You have to include him in the cookout. You got to come to the family event.
That's the best tasting thing. So
there you go. But you need all 3 of these macronutrients in your body functioning in a good way to create some degree of homeostasis.
Harmony,
Right. You need that homeostasis inside. So people, and again, what is important, what we try to dispel on the show is to tell people that these fat diets you see online these diets that promise you X result in X time, drink this and drink that. These are not necessarily the most effective way to create a sustainable
diet or to lose weight, because what tends to happen is, let's say a lot of people doing the keto diet. When you put your body in ketosis, you're basically starving your body of somewhat of nutrients,
right? Correct.
And soon as you're finished with your diet, because there's going to come a point where you have to return to normalcy, right? So take your body out of ketosis. You've been starving your body for so long. From the time you introduce food into your body, it takes everything, because I've been starving. I need this. This is what I need to return back to where I'm comfortable.
Correct.
And by doing that, it ends up taking in way more than it's supposed to.
Correct.
Which boosting back your weight way more than you had on. So if you lost 50 pounds, you're gonna probably gain 60.
So guys, again, so it's important to clarify the keto diet. It's a very popular one. Everybody jumping in the keto diet. It's good. Personally, I think you guys use it for a person that are already more are likely on a healthy, sustainable path.
Correct. And you just
like
want
bodybuilder in
to lose some
particular.
weight.
Right.
You want to do a photo shoot. You want to fit in a dress for a short period of time, because when you finish it, you're returning. But if you're looking to do a ketosis diet to, let's say, drop your body weight forever, it's not going to work. It's not
sustainable. But again, we're not saying that the diet is not effective. We're not saying that the diet is not helpful in your treat. However, it's important that you understand that if you're going to be in ketosis for a very long period, it does come with a degree of complications later on if you're trying to prolong that. Now, there may be some schools of thought that might be contradict what we're saying, but personally, I've seen evidence to support that with clients. And what I try to do with clients in terms of, you have a balanced diet, you incorporate some aspects of the keto, and then you keep the other aspects where you need to have carbohydrates. Because for example, let's talk about what your pre-workout meal would be like, because you need that energy in the gym.
Well, pre-workout, as we just stated earlier, is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is the fuel, right? You can go straight to sugars, but sugars end up boosting insulin level way too soon, right? So you have to start from the beginning, carbs, right? Break down into energy, then it breaks down into the sugar to get into the bloodstream.
Right.
So you go straight to carbs. So any high carb meal is going to be wonderful to give you a burst of energy within, let's say, depends on what you eat, within 20. Milk, and then you take some yogurt.
I like raisins. I like raisins. Yeah, raisins kind of. But it's even raisins, again, with sweet stuff, you have to be careful you don't spike
your insulin level.
Because spike insulin will cause you to feel nauseated in the gym, and you could throw up. Whatever you put in there, you can throw it up, right?
Because remember, the fruits have fructose, which is basically, let's say, a complex sugar, right? So you want to mitigate that as much as possible.
One of a good sweetener that people we tend to overlook, and I think now people are catching on, is honey. Right?
Oh,
honey is it's very, very good, and
it's 100% natural. It's on your body.
Your body does great things on honey. Honey, I think, is one of the only sweetener that doesn't spike your insulin as fast as other sweeteners out there. So honey is a good sweetener that you could incorporate into your diet and eliminate all the other processed sugars that you might be consuming. So.
And on the plus side, it helps your skin, right? And so on. There's a lot of
tangential benefit
of honey, of using honey.
So there you go, guys. So that's pretty much the relevance of having all three of your macronutrients, right? Now let's talk a little bit about the minerals and vitamins, because most persons don't know your body doesn't necessarily store vitamins and minerals. Your body basically absorbs it from the food you eat during the day,
and then
appropriates it
to the body.
Rest you pee and poop out, right? So unlike the fat, carbohydrates, and proteins, they're not necessarily stored in the body as long as these three macronutrients. So, what would some of the vitamins and stuff you would take to give you a boost?
Well, first and first, I put this on my Instagram and anywhere I relay my messages. Multivitamin in the morning is key. right? You get your iron in, you get your vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin B12, right? And make everything works very good. Your brain is working good, you're feeling more moody, right? Well, not in terms of want to bite somebody up, you're feeling more pleasant, you're more likely to smile because everything is working optimally.
Right, great. There you go. So get those minerals in. A lot of the times you want to allow your body to synthesize the minerals and proteins, minerals and vitamins from the food you eat, right? But if you want to boost that, there are lots of vitamin supplementation that you can utilize. Like Darius said, the multivitamins in the morning, and they're not going to harm you because again, basically,
your body needs it.
Yeah, your body needs it.
And whatever it doesn't observe goes straight to waste. And one of the problems we have with a lot of the younger population is that they don't take the vitamins, right? Oh, I'm feeling good, I don't need to take my vitamins. As soon as you get a little stable, you run to the pharmacy, you buy 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C and then try to swallow it all at one time. It doesn't work.
800
it's too much.
Yeah, it's too much at one time.
Body don't want it, so you need to pee it out immediately. Right. So what you're trying to do, the body don't want it.
Right. So you have a lot of stored up in your body periodically from taking it every day.
So every day, small doses at a time, keeps you going. So why wait till you get sick and then park in a car and then to take your vitamins? Right. Just don't get sick at all. Take your vitamins all year round.
Right. And get an immune boost. Right. Immune boosters. Right. So go ahead.
So quick shameless plug. Where you can get your vitamins from? Right. In Sherry Street there is a fitness store called Fitness Express.
Right.
They have the optimal nutrition, as you see I'm wearing here. Up to men, there's up to women. It's just about $5,000, right? You get a whole month's work. So it comes in a little bottle. You take 2 a day, and you're golden.
Right. We're actually trying to get Mr. McDonald on the show eventually to come and dispense a lot of knowledge and he has a huge, vast wealth of knowledge in regard to. Either to come out and talk about supplementation and some of the options out there that are available to boost your overall well-being. Now, again, what we've been discussing on the show so far, because we're going to wrap in a few moments, is that in your overall approach towards your health and fitness goals, nutrition is the most pivotal aspect of the what they call the triad, which is lifestyle, exercise, and the nutrition. Right, those three in conjunction are in combination and in conjunction is what's going to really boost your overall results and the positive results, and that's why we harp a lot on nutrition, because nutrition is very pivotal. Like you can tell them, if you didn't have the type of nutrition you had and you went to the gym and trained the way you train, first of all, you could not have been able to train the way you train.
The body will break down. It's too much.
It's too much. So if you don't have that kind of nutritional support to your, and this guy works like a freak, guys. You guys follow Razor Ramsamy on Instagram.
Yeah.
He posts videos all the time. You guys can take a really good look and see how hard this gentleman works. So
just be aware, right? I like country music and I like singing country music. It's regular. It just keeps you in a calm state of mind. But the nutrition of the aspect is, let's say 75%. Working out is just the rest, right? Yeah. So in reality, you don't have to go to the gym, right? But you have to take your nutrition seriously.
Pivotal.
Right? Very. Remember, we're in this for a long time now, a short time.
Right, there you go.
So we want to be healthy enough so when we inquire, let's put it that we inquire female, right, we can be able to present our best self. And for the older folks, we need to be running behind our grandkids, running behind our kids and so on, right? If you're winded or if your visceral fats are high and your son run past, you can't catch him.
Right. Too compressed.
I'll catch you later, this,
Yeah. We don't want that. Again, that's why we have the show, that's why we have the platform to dispense this information, to get you guys where you need to go. Knowledge is pivotal towards any kind of thing you're going to be applying yourself to. Always. You understand? Darius has built the physique he's been able to build over time based on him applying all his knowledge. It is not by accident he looks the way he looks. He puts in the work. he focuses on the rubric, the things that matter. Right? Once you continue to focus on things that matter, it will translate into looking the way he looks. I always talk on the show. It's first start to feel good, and then the looking good part comes. What you try to focus on is you as the viewers at home who are not necessarily on the competitive side of fitness, is to work with what you have in front of you. Utilize any and all valid and credible sources of information, and you follow those rubrics that these health professionals provide, and test out things. You read more things and support your knowledge based around your health and physics, because you are your greatest asset. And if you're not good, you cannot expect anybody else around you to be
greatest asset, right? Enemy, and everything about. And with that being said, if you guys don't want to take the necessary stress of going to research nutrition and knowledge, right? You can always contact me on Instagram. I do nutrition, I do personal training. I give you that push. I provide your nutrition so you can get in shape, getting thing for the new year. Not right now, because as you know, it's part of the conversation. So for the new year, you guys just hit me up. Corel also do personal training.
I have a studio and all that. So we're gonna be definitely. So again, we are resources that you have access to, guys. Reach out, talk to people. Get knowledge, get access to knowledge. Everything starts up here. And what we're saying to you is not something that is far-fetched or something that you're incapable of doing. We all have the capacity to do it. Some of us do have some factors that inhibit us from doing, but if you pile up all the excuses, you just need one reason to eradicate.
You'll never start. Like for instance, earlier the year, I broke my hand. My finger, my metacarpal, and I was still able to go to the gym and progress and came on top. Right? Pretty recently, again, I got in an accident and tore 2 muscles in my shoulder, and I'm now competing for the Miss Ghana competition just about 5 months after. Right? So excuses are what you make it. Right? So if you put the excuses aside and say, listen, this is what I want, this is what I'm going for, there's nothing can stop you, because you already made up your mind and you're strong and within yourself, you're going for your goals.
Right. So you're having that mental fortitude and the physical fortitude working together to produce a result.
So remember, nobody can do it for you. You can only do it for yourself. And you should not be trying to get in shape for anyone. You should not try and get in shape or for, let's say, a female. Right? You should try to get in shape for yourself, because remember, at the end of the day, they will come. Right? Once you look at them,
don't do what sometimes.
And for the females, the same.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Don't try to get in shape because you went through a breakup. No, this go both ways. You went through a breakup, and you think because you're looking banging now, right? Every time you check your Instagram, it's gonna hurt his heart, right? Get in shape for you, right? It's gonna be hurting anyway.
You're not surprised, That was very good. So, there you have it, guys. There you have it. So, as always, we want to keep you guys encouraged and keep you guys enthused about getting your goals achieved in your fitness pursuits. It is for some people a gargantuan task, but you have to be able to push through all your impediments, all the things that hinder you from making it. You need to culture your mind to push through all these things that may be before you. A lot of people are tuning in, are people, stay-at-home moms and different kind of stuff that have a lot of responsibilities in your home. Make house cleaning a little more rigorous. There's some exercise right there, but once you are able to manage nutrition, which we're discussing here today, you will see some results. Guys, this is not anything, no fallacies here, all truths. Once you follow a guided intake plan, your nutrition is on point, you will see results. I'm going to add a caveat to that. The only reason some people might not see results as fast, and even in that situation you can still see results, is if you have some kind of congenital illness, like hypothyroidism or any kind of ailment that
prevents you
from processing
and losing weight. But there's a way around. There's always a way around.
Always a way around.
Right? So if that's the case, you should reach out to a professional to get a little bit more information right before you go down that journey.
Correct. And the thing is, a lot of people think about cost, but again, guys, there's no price tag you can put on your health. None. Absolutely not.
Plus dieting is not that expensive. To me, I find when I'm dieting it's way more cheaper. Right? The only thing that's kicking my ass right now is the price of the eggs. So prices of eggs, $2,000.
It's a staple in a bodybuilder's diet, right?
Even a tray egg a day. That's not healthy for you guys. I mean, just the egg whites, but however, right? It's very cheap because you're sticking basically to one thing. You're mitigating all the rest of stuff like fast food and so on. So what I usually do is when I'm dieting, the whole household is dieting.
There you go. I was talking about that all the time. I try to get everybody involved.
Everybody get healthy at one time, right? And then when we're done with that for a period of time, we bring back in some of the stuff, and then we can enjoy life. We can have our pancakes in the morning.
You can manage it better, and that's what we're trying to get you guys to come on board with. That kind of thinking is that it is like, for example, you and your wife, you guys work together, then you guys keep each other in check. Right? So you at home, if you have your partners, convince each other to get into that healthy frame of mind and try to push towards making sure that you guys are achieving. Fitness goals together, a couple that works out together stays together. I've seen a lot of couples come to the gym and strengthen their bond because they're both achieving their goals.
And you're spending more time together. Right? So with that being said, get your partner involved.
Again, there's loads of media out there. Utilize our platform. We have the shows on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Utilize our recordings. These are recordings. You can access them at any time, and you can access this conversation again at any time. Reference the points we made, and you can utilize the information garnered from it. So.
Or if you feel directly, you can just shoot us a message,
Correct. Like since we started the show, Darius, I've had a number of people hit me up in the inbox and help them with structuring meal plans and giving them encouragement, and these are the things, and this is why we do it. Again, in Guyana, the industry is now growing,
and a lot of people are becoming more health and fitness wise.
Correct. And we do this because we love it, and we make a little bit of change at the end of it, because obviously you gotta pay. But at the same time, we do this primarily because we love it and we know what it yields, right? And the best gift you can give to somebody is something that they can take with them for the rest of their life.
That's true.
That's the reason why we have Darius on.
For a Christmas gift, right?
There you go.
Sign your loved ones up for, let's say, a 3 to 4 months period with Raise of Fitness, right? Get them in shape and get your money back out of them, right? Because when they're in shape, you have all that pleasing to look at.
Exactly. So you're extracting a lot of benefits. So with that said, guys, we're gonna wrap for today. As always, it's an absolute pleasure joining you in your homes. Before we go, let's remind the folks what's going on this weekend.
So this weekend, I may look a little drained. This weekend is the Mr. Guyana competition where I will be winning my title for the second time again. Not trying to win my title. Winning my title for the second time in a day. So with all of these striations, and you probably can see there. I don't know if you could see through the camera. Right? You can come on December 18th. The show is going to start at 6:30 p.m. Right? There's going to be male and females there. For the females, all of the males, but most of them is going to be wearing something we call like a top. Right?
Bikini shorts.
And the female is going to be wearing a bikini. For the small leg men, they're going to be wearing a short.
Hey, some But we got some good guys too.
Some good guys, right? But they're gonna be wearing the shorts as well. In my mind, plotted forward to this guy. I don't apologize. But you guys can come up and support and cheer for me. Right? Let's go.
There you go. So come out this Sunday, guys, December 18th. The Guyana Bodybuilding and Fitness Federation are hosting their premier Florida flagship show. The Mr. Guyana
is going to be at the National Culture Center.
The great guys, come out. And again, these athletes always need support all year round. So any of you viewers that feeling like the pocket's still heavy, you're always welcome to release some of that weight to the pockets on these athletes and help build and push strength sports a bit further in the country. So as always, again, Corel, your host, Darius, thank you once again for coming on. We're going to have him on a lot more, dispensing his knowledge, and we want to thank you again for tuning in to Fun, Fit, and Healthy. As always, we close by reminding you that it's important to take care of yourselves so you can take care of each other. So thank you for joining us on this wonderful wet Tuesday morning, but we're going to push through. If your day didn't start correct, we hope that this show helped to change that trajectory and you'll have some degree of positivity going forward for the rest of your day. So do have a wonderful remainder of your Tuesday and tune in tomorrow for our core sessions. And take care, Guyana.